Hi guys, I've kind of got my Skyrim Special Edition mod order started. I think that's the best way to describe it. I now have a basic load order that I think is good enough that I can start my playthrough, and it is in big part thanks to the viewers who joined me for a stream a few days ago. They gave me some great advice, some great ideas, and just helped me come up with a good load order. Now originally I was going to upload that whole stream to this channel, but it turned out instead of like a half hour, 1 hour stream as I thought it was going to be, it was 4 hours long, and it involved quite a lot of talking and getting massively distracting, which probably is only a surprise to me. Everyone else is probably going, and what else is new? But the long and short of it is that's a 4 hour video, and there's not as much modding in it as there should have been. So I'm going to upload that on the other channel. I will leave a link down below, and you can click there if you actually just want to go and listen to the entire thing. I have no idea why you would. There was the occasional rant. I'm actually thinking of cutting out one of the rants and uploading it separately so people can actually hear that bit, because I know some people are going to feel the need to go through a 4 hour slog just to find it. But what I'm going to do now is take you through the mod list, basically, so you don't have to watch that video. You can just watch this and you will know exactly what mods I am going to be using. I will also list the mods in the description down below, I think. I do that for all of my Let's Plays anyway, so, you know, I might as well do it for this video. The first mod is Majestic Mountains. That is a mountain retexture. I know I said I wasn't going to do much in the way of visual mods, but somebody made a comment about the mountains and it did start to bug me, and this one was suggested. I've tried it out and it does look pretty good. A quality world map for fairly obvious reasons. I essentially want the roads. I did install a Matter of Time and I am going to use it, but I don't want it on during the beginning of the game, so I'm going to enable it later on. We have amazing follower tweaks so that I have a little more control over my followers and they behave a little better. And we have Andromeda. Now this is an overhaul of the Standing Stones. This is by the same mod author as did Ordinator and a few other mods that I've used, so this will change things in ways that are pretty new to me. I'm going to be using Audio Overhaul, although I did consider this one for some time. These sort of mods do tend to make the game sound better and a lot more realistic, but sometimes they can make the background noise a little overpowering for a Let's Play. It's that need to balance the ambience of the game versus the commentary going on. But I think I can do that. I actually used an Audio Overhaul in the Richard Let's Play, so I think I can do this. We will revisit this at a later date. If I find I'm having conversations and really having to boost the microphone volume or reduce the game volume a lot, we can rethink that one. We've got better dialogue controls and better message box controls. Those are fairly obvious. And convenient horses. We have our old favourite. I can store a ton of stuff on my horse and call it to me even when it's miles away. Very useful, and some fond memories of that mod and some not so fond memories as well. Oh, you're kidding me. Cutting Room Floor. This is a mod that adds some cut content. Obviously I've never done any of this, so this will be new for me, which is always good. Destructible display cases. This is going to be great for the sort of character I want to play. Even better quest objectives, just a general improvement, quality of life sort of thing. Footprints, obviously. I almost forgot this one. Somebody had to remind me of this. God knows how I forgot this one. This is almost essential. Again, I know I said I wasn't going to focus too much on visuals and graphics because I want to evaluate the base game, but there are some things I already know that I want or don't like. The mountain textures for one, and I do want footprints. Honed Metal is a mod that changes the blacksmith experience. It vastly improves the blacksmiths you will meet in the game. They will be able to make repairs and enhancements for you for money. This means you don't have to take the smithing tree yourself. You don't have to become a blacksmith if you want to improve your stuff. You can actually pay someone copious quantities of money. I think this is a very good and realistic idea. It's also something to spend all that money on. Immersive armors, because I love that mod. Immersive citizens AI overhaul. This makes the citizens behave in a more believable manner. I've not tried this mod, so this sounds like a great one. Immersive HUD, fair enough, I suppose. Bit of a crap mod, but I guess I'll install it. I need. Now this is going to be... This one could be a little controversial. Well, it's not really controversial that I'm using I need, but it might be controversial because that's the only survival mod I'm currently using. I'm not using Frostfall or the camping mod by Chesco. And the reason for that is there do seem to be some issues with it on Skyrim Special Edition at the moment. I've seen some people say there are fixes out there and links to places where it will show you how to fix it yourself. But I'm a little reluctant to do that at this stage. I want to be very, very careful with my load order at this point because I'm intending to make a fairly long-running Let's Play. This means I really do want mods that are officially supported, officially bug-fixed, that type of thing. I'm not saying I won't mess around myself. I'm just saying at the moment I'm giving it some serious thought. I may still install Frostfall. I do love it, and I'm not sure how it will feel to play the game without it. For now, though, I've definitely got I need. This will give me the hunger, the need for sleep, and that sort of thing. And that at least will mean I need to find the odd inn and have breakfast. Of course, another option is to use the survival mode that comes with the Creation Club. It is free now, and I could test that out and get used to it. And there's a side of me thinking, yeah, this is an excellent chance to get used to that. But I'm not overly confident about Bethesda's ability to do a good survival mode. I wasn't really impressed with the Fallout 4 one, so I don't know how I feel. I haven't ruled out the possibility of uninstalling I need and trying survival mode. I'll have to check, can I turn it off once I've turned it on? Are there any issues doing that? I don't know. That's why this is controversial. I haven't really totally decided whether I should wait for Frostfall or go survival mode. I'm finally going to try out Inigo. Yes, I had an entire series devoted to reviewing mods for Skyrim, and I never tried and reviewed what is considered the greatest follower and companion mod for that game. I'm finally going to do it. There's been so many messages about how I need to do it this time. I know there would be a riot if I did not. I will be taking Inigo out for a bit of a test run. I don't know how long I will keep him. I may actually try some other follower mods as well. And even some other followers that I've never tried. There are some in this game that I really have not given a fair run. So, there are other followers, but I am going to try Inigo. I know some people are like, no, not another Khajiit follower. I hate Khajiit. Well, have a kitten. Lean Wolf's better shaped weapons because no cricket bats, please. Legacy of the Dragonborn. Oh, those are the patches. Yeah, this was a mod I said I was going to install later because I do want to focus mostly on vanilla content for the first couple of chapters. However, everybody said, nope, you need this in from the start. It could cause issues if you don't. So I've put that in already. That's pretty much the only major content mod that I've added. Lockpick graduation, that's one that just adds little marks to the locks, makes it a little easier to remember where you broke the pick. Lore weapon expansion, this just adds more weapons. Master of Disguise. Now, I installed this not just because I'm a thief, but because it does seem to have some interesting mechanics as to how other NPCs will react to you. So if you're running around in a Stormcloak outfit, if you're wearing that sort of armor, you are going to be viewed favorably by the Stormcloaks, but not so favorably by the the Legion, obviously. So that's definitely going to add some interesting mechanics. These are all patches for Morrow Loot Ultimate, which is an overhaul mod that basically de-levels the game. It removes enemy scaling, so, you know, I will be going to areas where enemies will be far tougher than I, and I will have to run away, and eventually I'll start wandering into areas. Once I become really tough, I will find people who are way beneath me, as I should. It also changes the loot you find, so there's a lot less ebony, glass, that sort of stuff. It's going to make rare loot actually rare. Overall, it just seems to be a really nice change. More HUD, because that's just so very useful when you're picking flowers or you're trying to evaluate what you should pick up. Ordinator, this is the perk overhaul. This was probably the first mod I knew I was going to use, and this should change the experience enough that it makes it a little more exciting. This Papyrus utility, we can probably ignore that for now. Realistic AI detection too. This will make sneaking a lot harder. It puts far more onus on the light that you are attempting to sneak in than, say, your skill. So even if you are 100 sneak skill, if you're trying to sneak across a brightly lit room while somebody is looking at you, you're going to fail. It's going to make it more realistic, and it's going to mean I fail far more often. Realistic water too. Yeah, this is actually why I gave up on my no visual mods rule. Someone suggested, oh, you're not going to replace the water. And I was like, no, I really do want to avoid visual mods for now. I want to evaluate the game for how it looks before I started adding the mods. And then I glanced at the water in game and was like, but I think I can evaluate this already. I want a water mod. I mean, the water in Skyrim Special Edition is better than it was in the original, but it's still pretty horrible. So I installed that, and shortly after, that's when I installed Majestic Mountains. Those are the only two visual mods that I've installed, if you don't count SMIM, which we will get to. Relationship dialogue overhaul. This is going to apparently make some of the NPCs have more interesting lines, although the big worry there is it might make you hate Lydia just a little less. So we will just have to concentrate on keeping our abject horror and utter hatred of her intact. Silent sneak attack. I almost forgot this one. Somebody mentioned it in the chat, and I was like, oh my god, how could I have forgotten this one? Because of course, sneak attacking is something I'm probably going to be trying to do, and that bloody noise. I don't know what they were thinking. Simple auto unequip ammo. This will mean when I put my bow away, the arrows go away as well. I like that. That's just it's a sort of a quality of life thing. Simply knock. I can now knock on a door and perhaps sweet talk my way in. That does sound interesting. Of course, SKSE 64. And then Skyrim Souls. Now, I love the idea behind this one. It makes all of the menus not pause time. Now, I've tweaked it a little because I want to be able to go to the settings menu and pause time. But for the rest of them, I think I've left it. Oh no, the journal. The journal shares a setting with the settings menu. So when I go and check my quest journal, time is paused. But if I go to my spell menu, if I go to my inventory, if I go to the quick menu, time still moves on, which is going to add to the tension. And I believe it also does this when picking a lock. So you can't pick a lock while someone's chasing you, take your time, open it, and then go through. They're going to be hitting you whilst you're doing it. I love the idea of that. Skyrim sewers. This basically adds sewers to several of the cities in Skyrim. Sounds pretty appropriate for a thiefy type playthrough. Sky UI. I mean, do I even need to explain that one? Same with SMIM. This just makes all of the models and textures, but it's mostly the models. It just improves them and removes some of the ridiculous things like completely flat chains and ropes that are painted onto posts rather than actually being wrapped around it. Sneak tools, more tools for a thief, things like water arrows, fire arrows, and so on. This made me think of the original Thief game when I was reading through this page, so that's going to be very interesting. TK Dodge. this was one people suggested, and I did try it out, but I'm not sure I actually like it. I'm going to think about that one. I tried it a little, it seemed pretty easy to use, but honestly, I didn't feel like it was any faster than just sidestepping, so I don't know, maybe it's actually safer. I will think about this some more. The unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch, I mean, that's got to be an essential. Wet and Cold, so that you actually look like you're wet and cold. And Wildcat. This is a combat overhaul. This is, again, it's by the creator of Ordinator and Andromeda. This is going to make combat a lot more visceral, a lot faster, and a lot more deadly. And finally, Zim's Immersive Artifact. So this is yet another items mod. This one looked interesting, so I thought I'd add that one as well. So that is it. It's a fairly basic load order as load orders go. It's got, I believe it is 61 plugins. Is that? Yeah, 61 plugins beyond the main ESMs. So it's not the most modded playthrough ever. In fact, it's probably my least modded playthrough of Skyrim. The only Bethesda game I've done with less mods than this would be Fallout 4, actually. So, yeah, it's not heavily modded, but I'm sure we'll be adding more mods as we go. I did want to add something like the Quick Loot mod, but I'm not totally sure how well that works in Skyrim. So, I did try it in my Enderall run. You know, I had mixed results because it did allow you to get around certain, shall we say, locked chests that were supposed to be locked via some magic or quest, and the mod got around them. So I am still looking into a lot of other mods, but that's it for now. That is my load order. That is how I will be running, and all that I'm waiting for now is the return of my gaming mouse. My gaming mouse broke, I've sent it off, and a replacement is on its way back to me. Once that arrives, and it should arrive sometime, I think at the beginning of next week, I'm going to start recording Skyrim Special Edition. So that's it. That's pretty much the condensed version of the 4-hour stream. That's what happened, but with a lot of distractions and ranting and other things. Okay, so there you go. As I said, I will leave a link down below to that video if for some odd reason you wanted to go through and understand some of the thinking, although I think I've explained it pretty much in this video. Okay, I will catch you guys next time.